Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I just came from the grocery store, but I wanted to do this one really quickly before the food gets uncode. Long and the story short, America is one of the best countries. Again, you can name me probably top 10. What about top 10? I don't care about that. America's one of the best countries that you can roll into this bad boy, apply yourself, and make $1 million. Right? We can look at countless stories of Forever 21 when they came in 1984. A lot of places. People underestimate, right? Well, let's do it this way. People overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in 6 months. And so when I heard people getting upset, Donald Trump is going to take away people's Section 8 after 2 years. And people go through life changes, injuries, car accidents, depressions. We're not taking away from any of those, because people who are disabled and people who are elderly will always have government resources poured out to them. But an able-bodied adult where there's nothing wrong with them, it's up here. 2 years is plenty of time for them to rechange their life. There is a person our family knows loosely, and essentially they're on free housing. And we just literally sat them down and said, listen, you guys got to do A, B, and C by the time this is done, because one of them's going to school, going to college or whatever. And this is the perfect time. Nowhere in the world are you going to have free rent. Go to Europe and try to get some free rent. You're going to be sleeping outside. You know what I mean? Unless you're from some of those coveted countries. Go be a refugee in all these other countries and have free rent and free range of all this opportunity. It just isn't there, y'all. And so I want people to really understand, we're talking about mindsets. We're not talking about, there's a lot of ways I can go with this, but in America, this is one of those countries that you can come online, radically go viral online, or create an audience, or be extra weird and get a weird audience. And lean into that weirdness and lean into who you are. That's in America. I don't know if y'all remember when Pharrell's song Happy came out. Many of the Middle Eastern kids who are this younger generation, everybody's like, Middle East is different now, and Iran is different now. They were dancing, not holding hands, not touching, not kissing, just dancing to the Happy song, and were punished because the video went viral. Even Pharrell spoke out and was like, yo, I didn't know these people were being injured, basically imprisoned, because they were dancing to a song that I wanted to bring joy to people. So when people talk about how oppressive America is, I'm like, baby, at least you can get on camera and dance for free, right? You can get on camera and dance and not be locked up. You can be in the middle of Walmart disturbing others and dance. You can be in Target and disturb others and dance. There is this comical victimhood a lot of Americans adopt. I'm not talking about racial, because I know somebody's going to be like, whoa. Listen, we have our gripes. We have our grievances in this country. We're owed. I hear all that. But if I start you today, and I ain't talking about dropping you off in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. I'm talking about if I drop you off in North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, at worst, New Jersey, that worst, really at worst. Within 2 years, you could have a radically different life. And we see it with people. They'll move just from North Carolina to Texas, North Carolina to Florida, North Carolina to Georgia, not always Atlanta, but North Carolina to another part. I'm seeing a lot of people say, I got a job offer in Myrtle Beach. And I always laugh because I'm like, because they can't get the local people to do it, right? So you're coming in as an outsider, excited about a job opportunity that a local person is like, no, thanks. So it's all mindset. It's all whatever you're putting in here, laws of association. What I love about the internet, creativity, digital products, digital marketing, all this stuff, you can be as creative as you want, unruly as you want, whatever the rule is. But as you grow your company or your business, you start to lean into systems. You start to lean into processes. You start to find associations. You name it, right? You're talking about credit repair, there's associations for that. There's a lobbyist group for that. There's award groups for that, right? All these people creating this SaaS, which is software as a service, they have awards. Thinkitive reached out to me for awards. Stripe, right? All these companies have awards. Teachable, because that the engine that grows America, that is our hope, our audacity, is the fact that you can start something on the side and grow it. Yeah, you're showing up to work, but most of y'all are kind of halving it at work anyway. But you can create this thing that's your baby project. There's a woman, I've showed her a couple times on the channel. She had a candle business and she was like, oh, I'm gonna shut it down. And she was going through a divorce, right? And the candle business ended up making $1 million. So she was like, well, I ain't shutting it down now, like, let me fund some more of the retirement. Then she decided, I'm gonna shut it down again, and realized that every time she tries to do inventory liquidation, run ads, run specials to kind of get rid of all the inventory, she usually makes a ton of money. And what people don't understand is $100,000 to $400,000 a year to somebody in California, New York may not seem like a lot of money. It may not. Somebody in other parts of the United States, $100,000 to $400,000 a year business, that's the profit after she does all her sales. That's a good business, okay? As long as it's not driving you crazy. And the problem is, what really drives most folks crazy is they've created themselves a job, not a business where they can just bounce from it, right? And that is something, as I'm teaching the inner circle and different people, it's like we're picking different locations to have our real estate projects because we want to show you that, yes, I had some horror stories in Detroit, some bonuses in Cleveland, some good stuff in Tennessee, but we want to show that you can have financial products in other parts of the country, right? One of the biggest things that's a sad story, I was going to do a whole video on it, is like a multimillionaire black man built this whole area in Cleveland. And guess what they did? They tore it down, put a highway over it, and build a stadium in the area. Like the government, if you want to do that way, took this man's economic opportunity, right? And that's with eminent domain as well. And people will say, well, see, that's why I don't start anything. And that's comical and silly and sad, because really my big thing to teach y'all is Tri-City CEO. There should be 3 cities that you can go into today and have roots, have opportunities, this ain't the 1970s, this ain't the 1960s, it ain't 1950s. I don't remember if y'all remember the Dolomite movie where Eddie Murphy was in that movie, but that man took his movie around the Chitlin Circuit. 1950s, people were doing the Chitlin Circuit. Dangerous racism, Ku Klux Klan, you name it. 1930s, people were doing the Chitlin Circuit. So there's always been an opportunity to move around and give people products and services that give people a good time. We just saw the movie Centers. If you ain't seen it by now, I don't care. I want to hear it. They were even coming to town to give people these opportunity to have an enjoyment, a place to be themselves, not have to beg to go to somebody's establishment, their own kind of establishment. Okay. There's always been opportunity in this country. And even with the Ralph Lauren, people being upset about that collection, even in the South, we've had a layer of Black well-to-do in the church system, in the college system, in many areas, many facets. Every single racial community in America has a upper class. Japanese, Cambodians, even the violent Asian gangs, they have people who own businesses, who own real estate, who send money home, who have created their American dream, right? And it's unfortunate that mindset is what's really holding people back. People are going to waste the next 6 months. I already know. There's a mastermind group I joined, and it wasn't cheap. And essentially, they're like, here, every 90 days, they give you a set of goals. Like, when you come back next 90 days, we want to hear about this. And they put you on the spot. What's stopping your business from growing? And I always tell you, I'm like, it's me. And so you have to pay attention to what is compound improvement, right? Not this ideal, maybe one day, maybe soon. It's just like, if every day I do this for the next 6 months, how does my life change? Even when I see guys say, well, I'm going to start this, plumbing, Red Scroll, any of these companies, and they slap a magnet on the side of their car, but they're still on Facebook posting goofiness every day. Use that Facebook market, that Facebook wall to every Friday be like, oh, I'm so excited. I got to work with so many customers this week. And a picture of you doing your work at your second job. Well, Erica, what if my boss sees it? At some point, there has to be a transition, right? At some point, you can make just a business only page. At some point, you have to say, it's important to me and my kids and my family's future that I do this. I'm not telling people to quit their jobs. I never have. I've always encouraged people to get the most highest paying job you can. So as you slide out the door, I don't want to hear this. Well, Erica, the insurance, I got kids, all this stuff people tell me. And that's why you see so many of these YouTubers and so many of these influencers and these small business owners, they'll get divorced, remarried again, and have a whole nother set of kids, 4, 5, 6 kids. And you're like, good gracious, because they got a glimpse of a wealthier life and how much better their life could be and how much better they can parent, I guess, with more resources and more time the second time around. Right? I was watching Steve Allen, and you can go look him up. He's an actor. He was born in like 1920s. And he was saying he was basically trying to panhandle his way to California, right? During the Great Depression time period. And he was so hungry, and it was like, random people fed him, Mexicans, whoever, they just fed him. He's like, well, other white people were cruel to him. And he was just trying to get out west, right? And the problem is, he was saying how he loved his kids. He tried the best with the first 3, but he was a great father to the 4th. Because by then he was what? Famous, wealthy, the acting career and everything took off. And a lot of people don't understand that's people out here in the real world. You see these moms that, oopsie, I'm pregnant again at 40 because my kid went off to college. Some will say, oh, she was being wild, or, the hormones or menopause, haha, but really deep down, unsubconsciously, because people don't get pregnant on accident. I never believed that, unless they're just in a coma and wake up pregnant. They know how babies are made. Subconsciously, she's like, I'm in a better place now. I'm more patient. I have more reserve. I know more things. I can be a better mom. That's what's happening, right? I see this YouTube couple. Their kids are all starting to get older, and they finally came into money, and then they had a baby. They're like, well, we should have another baby so this baby can have a friend. And really what it's saying is we get a do-over with our new money, our new life, our new opportunity. And that only happens in America. I don't care what you say. Oh, Erica, people in London have babies late. I hear you. People in South America have babies late. I hear all that, you guys. I do. But I want you to understand, this is one of those countries that you literally could turn around and have access to 100,000 in credit cards or 50,000 in credit cards. That ain't happening in Nigeria. It ain't happening in Uganda. It ain't happening in South Africa. It's not happening in Bulgaria. It's not happening in Budapest either. And guess what? If you're in Greece, they're not giving you a credit card. Now, through some of these countries, because they need population, give you discount housing, discount stuff, try to pull in the educated, right? But I told you, I watched a video on an illegal alien in Texas, been here his whole life, and he wanted to leave the country because he was so mad that he couldn't fast track legal immigration. But in order for him to leave America, guess what he had to do? He had to have some type of skill. So this guy's in his mid-30s, been goofing off. That's what I'm going to call it, just kind of bouncing, job hopping. And now he wants to go to school to be a nurse. Imagine if at 21 he went to school to be a nurse. Imagine that. Imagine if at 21 he said, let me go be a nurse. His outlook on America, his opportunity to have a visa, his opportunity to be an American citizen fully would have already been in his pocket. He waited now to 35, 36, 37 in the video I was watching to now go to school and be a nurse through a speed track boot camp in 2 years so he can go live over in Germany with this nursing opportunity. What I think is going to happen is he's going to get that nursing degree and he's going to apply to jobs in America and get one of them to give him a visa. This whole, I'm leaving America, they're treating me bad. This is what, imagine being illegal in somebody's country and going to school to get a career so you can leave the country that fed you, put you through public school, let you go through college, let you just kind of loiter around the country in borderline lazy jobs, is allowing you to go to school one more time to be a nurse in a coveted position of nursing. We are short a ton of nurses, welders, electricians, all of it. That only happens in America. So this is not a rah-rah America story as much as it is a what's up with your mindset, right? Because we already know you can start pretty much any business you want. And really, when people say, oh, 8 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 5 years, I've told y'all, I've been to too many conferences, and I don't have all the niche to get that statistic, to get it where I can declare it's a statistic. But a lot of people start that first business with a cousin, a friend, an auntie, or whoever. They started with their spouse. They do different things, or they have a partnership, and the partnership fails in the first year or two, and they go back and start another LLC with that same business and that same genre. We saw it with food service, people's food trucks, people's barbecue businesses. We see it all the time. But remember, the people who have the energy to start the company, the first 2 to 5 years, it may be a blast. They may not have the capacity to be the person who runs the company full time for the next 5 to 7 years, 5 to 10 years, 5 to 15, right? It may require a different type of CEO, a different type of staff than a startup culture energy staff. And that's what you're seeing online. You're seeing a lot of people who had these amazing startups. They did YouTube, they did this, that, and then they have to change as a person. Their business also has to change. Their staff had to change in order for them to grow into the companies you're seeing online now. And that's only in America, right? Because it's really not, is there layers of racism? Is there layers of stuff? For sure. But if you have the paperwork, there's 1,200 business banks out there. There is a bank that will give you money. There's thousands of capital companies out there. There is a capital company that will give you money. Why? Because they are not going to let racism or issues stop them from getting money. That's just the facts, right? I saw a terrible video earlier where a black guy was waving this guy down, trying to tell him there's a hole in the road. The white guy flips him off and runs into the sinkhole and almost dies. He gets out. He's like, yeah, that was on me, man. I apologize. That was my racism. I apologize. And I'm just sitting there watching the video like, if somebody is willing to dive head first into a sinkhole because they refuse to listen to somebody for the color of their skin, their life has a collection of bad stuff going on. Their life is not just one bad thing happening. It's a lot of bad things happening. And they just aren't addressing that, right? Part of what I hope you get out of this channel, you get out of watching me or any of the content I produce, is that there is a possibility for more. There is a possibility to be greater. There is a possibility in the next 6 months you have the best life ever. Now, do I know how most people are going to go? October, November, December, they're already gone. August, September, they're stressed out about the kids and football season starts. That's a lot of people. It doesn't have to be you, right? If you're a digital delivery warrior, we're talking about what's your fall plan? What's your fall ad schedule, right? If you're a middleman in millions, we're like, great, you know what's about to happen. People heaters are going to have issues. People chimneys are going to need clean. People's houses are going to need clean because their parents and family members are coming over. Are you going to be that person? Catering services. No matter what the economy is saying, people will find money to cater for that baby's birthday party. They will find money to cater for their son or daughter's graduation party. People find the money. They're going to find the money to put the lights on the house for Christmas. They're going to find the money to decorate a bunch of pumpkins. There's a pumpkin drop-off in Austin. Do y'all know how hot it is in Austin? I don't think y'all know how hot it is. Pumpkins be looking like they dying on porches. And there's a girl who is making money decorating porches with pumpkins. That's called the pumpkin drop-off, if I'm not mistaken. She's not the only one. That's just the one I can think of. And so even these seem like, well, those are seasonal things, Erica. Yes, but it takes you doing what? Every year around right about now, and I've seen the girl post, hey, get your time in for October so I can do the pumpkin porch drop off, right? You have to reel them in the conversation. Wow, people are nosy, y'all. People are hella nosy on your Facebook. They hecka nosy on your Instagram. That's why I tell you, just start a new one. Start a new one, make it your business page and keep it going. Because if you have 1,000 clients, and that's a lot, right? We can talk about digital marketing, we can talk about digital businesses, but if you have 1,000 clients spend $10 with you, that's big. You have 1,000 clients spend $30 with you, you just got $30,000. That's somebody's salary in America, right? Now you're gonna say, Erica, you're talking about coming to America, and it's one of the easiest places to make money. And yeah. But what about? Maybe guess what? Your challenges are your challenges. Let me say that again. Your challenges are your challenges. If you're having problems, I feel bad for you, son, because I got 99 problems and a B ain't one, right? So, shout out to Jay-Z, right? But there will always be a group of people who find the negative. I'm leaving America. I can't afford my housing. I can't afford my car. They're doing everything but addressing the elephant in the room is financial. And I think some people have just given up. They just said, I'll never be wealthy. I'll never have money. My grandma didn't have money. My mama didn't have money. I ain't gonna have no money. It's a very dangerous mental cycle that they're participating in. And I recommend you don't participate in it. I recommend you decide today and speak life to yourself and speak positivity to yourself. Be so on target. And people say that's intense, Erica, but be so on target that people, friends and family don't bring bull S to you. Other day I was doing something and their family had a meeting. I said, why ain't nobody tell me? They're like, girl, we know you be working. I said, thank you. Miss me for the BS. Call me when you put a plan together, but miss me for the BS. Right? Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, miss me for the BS. Cool. Like you already know. Because they know you're intense and on target. They just do. And so when you are intense and you're on target and this is the goal, and let's not make more than 3 big goals for the last 6 months of the year. You can do 6, but that's kind of like, oh, right? That's a tough, you know what I mean? And it just starts with, and I hate to be generic, but I just got to do it for generic reasons. I'm changing what I put in the refrigerator. You already know you're going to hit the cookies. You're going to hit the hot cocoa. You're going to hit the pecan pie, the sweet potato pie, the Thanksgiving. You already know those dates are coming. So my sister, my brother, can we drink a little bit more water? Can we get a little more supplements in before those dates? Not after. Not detox tummy tea after Thanksgiving. Not detox tummy tea after Christmas. But like before those dates, can we get it going? But what's going to happen is a lot of y'all going to drink on Saturday, Sunday. Saturday football, you're going to be drunk and eating hot wings. Sunday, you're going to go to church and then eat some crap after church. And then you're going to eat some more hot wings and drink some more beer on Sunday night. Then you're going to go to work and say, I don't know why my stomach is upset. I don't know why I'm gaining all this weight in the fall. You know why, okay? That's just one area. Hey, spouse, let's once a month do a date night. Now, you already know what you're going to tell her. Well, it's football Saturday. Use that Friday wisely. That's what I'm going to tell you. Use your Friday wisely. Use your Wednesday wisely, right? There's a Bible study group I go to in the fall. It's on Tuesdays. I already know. Monday or Tuesday. They switch it some years depending on which location you at. You know where I need to be on Monday night. Is at the Bible study. Okay, you know where you need to be. If you got a flight, make sure that flight come in early so you can go to the Bible study on Monday night, right? You have to be building out and committed to maybe 1 or 2 activities at most, if you can handle it. And because I had committed this year to a particular type of business ideal, I knew I could not be on live streaming every day. And yeah, let me tell you about this. I knew I could not, unless I hired 2 media people to put in all the content, all the stuff. And that would make me elevate my game. I understand that. I do. But I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. And I know the ebbs and flow of the content. And that I can just wait till September and the content will be back robust because people will be back in the house. It's dark earlier. They come home earlier. They're like, oh, I don't want to be out in the streets. The weather. We already know the game, right? So my biggest thing is, while people are fearful, you should be digging in. What does that mean? What people are fearful, you should be digging in. Okay, Warren Buffett, I bungled the quote, but it doesn't matter. Because the thing is, most people are saying, oh my God, I don't know if I should buy a house. I don't know if I should go to school. Like, they're in a state of unknown. I don't know if I should go buy a house. I should go to school. I should buy a car. They don't know. And instead of saying that they're going to spend their time assessing, studying, should I do A, B, C, or D? They're going to sit in that quagmire for the next 6 months till something forces them to. Same thing with health. We've seen that a lot with healthcare. People will I need to get better. I need to do this. I talked to one of my family members about beets and blood flow. And they looked at me like I was a crazy person. 2 months later, Erica, I looked up what you was talking about them beets. I was so tired and I bought these beets on. I want you to see this canister I bought. And I just be smiling because I know what that means. It's like they hear you. They know the right answer is to improve, to change their life. Life only gets better if they decide to get better. But that's the problem. Most people It's till life pushes them to the edge. It's till life is about to knock the wind out of their back, right? We had a family member with a leaking pond. They had a fish pond. They had like 100 fish in this pond. And the pond kept shrinking. And we're like, do you notice the pond shrinking? Yeah, we got to figure out something about to do with this pond. I'm like, well, you don't even call, I'm telling them you can call this person, and they can assist you in your pond. They keep letting the pond shrink. Now the pond is down to what, about 20 fish? It's real low. Now they run around calling, hey, our pond is, my niece said to call about this pond. And the people are like, man, we really wish you'd call earlier in the summer. We could have saved all those fish you had. And we needed X amount of water to tell the measurement levels. There's several reasons. They're trying to find the leak. And so the lower the water is, it's like harder to find the leak, right? And so she didn't make it a priority until all the fishes is dying. Dead fish everywhere. Right on the edges where it dried up, right? Where it's just drying up. Don't be that person. Don't be the fish running out of water. Don't be the frog in the boiling pot of water till you got to get your foot cut off. Don't be LeVar Ball getting your foot cut off. Then they ain't enough. They got to come and cut part of your leg off. Then they got to go up to your knee and cut above your knee off because of diabetes. And you're a wealthy person and you know better. And sweets are good, but not that good. I want my feet. Sweets are great. Black people in the South, sweets are great. Sweet tea is great. Fried chicken is great. But it ain't great enough to lose your feet, okay? It's just never that good. I'm going on a tangent here, but my point is, in America, you have this radical opportunity, okay, to do almost nothing. You can always move back to one of these small little towns, smaller than the town I'm in right now, because we're 400,000 in this town, to a town with 30,000 people, 10,000 people, 5,000 people, and live like on crumbs and have a farm. You can always do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the opportunity in America. But you also have the opportunity to go as high up the ladder you want. As long as you are studying, you're putting compound effort in, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in the stock market. And so people say, what if I don't want to invest in the stock market? Okay, cool. Are you investing in the business? Are you investing in you is the key word. Because as you improve, the people you be around improve. The environment you want to be around improves. The uniform, the wear, what you dress like improves. The spaces you can go in improves. But that's truly in America. You go over in Europe, you're locked out from some of these areas. You go to parts of Africa, you're just another vendor like everybody else. You go to parts of Asia, Singapore, it's some opportunity there. I'm not knocking it. Same with the girls you see building real estate and hotels in Bali and Morocco. There's opportunity. Is it as easy as in America? No way, hands down, no way. It depends on how much energy and mindset you want to put towards it in those other countries. And then you still gonna need some luck on that. So, in short, not to ramble, but it is kind of sounding compound improvement. I hope and wish for you to have compound improvement. I hope your life improves. I hope you're growing little by little. And make sure you drop that CD and state in the chat. Click a 1 if you enjoyed the commentary. But man, only in America you can have the rags to riches story and really come up and have a radical change in your life in like 6 months, y'all. You know what I mean? I've seen people get one credit card and then go travel for 3 months and come back. Let me write a book about my travels. You'd be like, God, no, he was gone for 90 days. But that's America, right? You can create it. Even that, there's countless examples I can show you online, but really there will always be thousands of people who don't know something who are willing to pay you for what you know. There are always going to be thousands of people who would want your help done with you. That's like being a realtor. Let's close on people's houses, appraisal, banking, anything. There's always someone who's going to need your help to help them get over the finish line. So don't be discouraged. Don't say, Erica, I wish I could coach, but I can't. I wish I could do this. It's all in your mind. And the more you get clarity and focus on what you're good at, what your skill is, and how you can help people and how you can grow your company, all of a sudden, all the associations appear. All right. There's associations for lending money. for banks, for cars, for credit, you name it. And you'd be surprised at the prices of some of these associations. They're very small. That's why you meet somebody in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they've won 40 under 40. They're part of 20 associations. They're invested in all these things because they built a life and a community out of the opportunity once they got clear and they got focused on what they're good at. And man, in America, can you fast track that? Can in 2 years your life be absolutely different and radical and have massive change? And you go from talking about baby mama drama to money, or from money to crypto, or from crypto to other stuff. This is that kind of country that you can do that. And you can reinvent yourself a million times. If you don't believe me, look at Donald Trump. Look at Rush Limbaugh. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Janet Jackson. Look at not just music, sports, and media, but this country allows for you to reinvent multiple times. KFC guy. He did countless careers, military, this, and went on to create this amazing legacy for himself. Yes, we know him as a KFC guy, but he was able to do countless things, right? The Vanderbilts, they didn't just stop with trains. They started with boats. They were sea merchants. Didn't know that, did you? Right? And so now, generations later, we got Anderson Cooper's famous for TV. This country allows you to grow, change, twist, move, adjust. And I love that. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classic on Blog. Thank you for your time. Enjoy. Check it out, Middleman to Millions or to Delivery Warriors. We'll be doing some trainings as we go into August. And it is the dog days of summer and also before the kids go to school. Later. You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance. And guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who can do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done. And that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. It's Erica Williams.